Okay everybody, so in this video I wanted to go over a few things I have learned about building mechs/robots out of Lego. And so I just wanted to go over a few things I have learned in the past few weeks of building this guy right here, which was in my latest video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on my channel. And so there are a few key pieces that I've found are pretty much needed for building mechs/robots. And so starting off with base components, the favorite piece, ball joints. Now, there's all different types of ball joints, you got the 1x2 with it on the side, double-sided, even got ball joint on a bar. And so with all these different choices, it makes a really good joint piece, especially since it can move in all different directions, since it's a ball joint. And so that is my favorite one. There are bigger ball joints which work a lot better, they're a lot stronger, but you need to be building a very large mech or robot to use these. And so in this robot it's just too small to use those, and it was a little tough posing with these, but if you just use some of these trans clear parts, you can pose it pretty easily. And so on to the next key component. You'd think these clips would be in here, but they are too weak, so get them out. You want the clicking ones. They're much better. They're actually probably stronger than ball joints, and so anything that doesn't have to move in a 360 radius or whatever, I'd recommend the clicking hinges. And there are also bigger ones of those that can move side to side, 360, as well as up and down, which these are what Lego uses mainly for their mechs. And again, very nice, but only for bigger builds. And then on to the final one, which is a little build of 3 pieces, and you can make this longer with any size of this Technic piece, and you just put it on these T-bars to make a little hinge. This is actually great for anything that needs a hinge type thing. You can move like this. Actually used it on the knees for the build, the robot, and they work great. They're a little annoying to pose, but other than that, they're amazing. Then on to things to add on, which there are plenty of pieces to do this with. You have the bracket pieces. They're amazing, but they offset by half a plate, so sometimes you have to go with things like this. These are my favorite pieces, pretty much, and they're just super amazing for building mechs. And this one in particular, it's just one of my favorites. But this piece, the all-sided brick, headlight brick, is probably one of the most important pieces, at least for this scale, just so you can build, all directions. And then with brackets, the small ones are nice, and you can even overlap them, well, not overlap them, but put them next to these headlight bricks, and they make a nice one-plate difference. Sure, you've seen this before, but works very well. And on to the next thing is weaponry. Now, it's very hard to find weaponry because all of Lego's weapon pieces are minifigure scale, you know? You can't really use them on big mechs, or they look tiny. You can still use these pieces, just not as weapons. So that's where, you know, other pieces. If you're looking for missiles, you can use this piece. It's a tooth, I believe, or something of the such. And you know, you just stick it in a piece such as this, and it makes a real nice pointy missile. You could also use something a little less pointy, like this. I like this one a lot for missiles, and you know, it is inverted, so it's a little annoying to connect, but just put it on a module like that, mount it to a shoulder or something, works real nicely. If you're going for an even bigger missile, you know, put some cylinders on either of these pieces and you get a nice missile, very large. And then the last one is you can actually take these lever pieces and pull it out to make this little piece, which works pretty well for missiles. They're a little small and round for my liking, but I do like them. And then last but not least, barrels for things such as rifles or guns. And so you have the small barrel. You can use either a rod, or my favorite is these blaster extensions. They work great since you can stack them really easily, and they have the little hole. They look great. Really like them for this type of stuff. Or you could upgrade a little further to either these Technic pieces or a cylinder if you need just a little bit of a bigger barrel, or even just put them on the point or on the end of these to make it a little bit more of a cone shape. You can even use a little bit more of the intricate version, which has more details. And then if you're going even bigger, you can use things such as this for your barrels. Barrel for a barrel. And then for other pieces that I like to use for barrels are actually gears. Mainly these small dark bluish gray ones work great, and these black ones, but you can still go for a slightly bigger one, or even use something such as a... wow, that just fell apart. Or you can use something small like this as the same kind of thing, just as a end to the gun. And then last but not least, the melee weaponry is very hard to get down because they don't really make a bunch of pieces that do very well. You can use large pieces such as the... don't know if I have it. There it is. Such as this. Pretty sure this is a bionicle piece. It's a little bent, you can see. I actually got it in a free batch of Legos, so not super well taken care of, but you can use things such as this for your melee weaponry, or you can build them yourself like I did with this brick built sword, which has a pretty cool design, turns into kind of a whip, and the pieces mounted on his back actually add to the length of the sword. Thought it was a pretty cool design. But if I actually combine this, which I'll do right like that. And there we are, with a nice little short katana-like sword. And so, the designing of melee weapons is pretty difficult, and this is actually pretty big for this size mech slash robot, but, you know, kind of just have to work with it, and I'd say making like an axe or something would be really awesome brick built. It's just that much more impressive. And so, with that, I am going to end this video, and just want to say that whatever you build with these techniques will turn out amazing. Not saying that the techniques are amazing, but, you know, building something just takes time, so be patient and you'll get a awesome product like this mess right here that I destroyed. But, goodbye, thank you for watching, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.